My friends, right about now, I would like to invite to the stage once again the Honorable Rosemary Babasi, Minister of Youth and Culture for the Republic of Rwanda, and as well the Chair of the Commonwealth Youth Ministers Task Force, Honorable Sarah Matike. And they will be witnessing over the ceremony for the installation of the newly elected CYC executive. So I'd like to welcome them to the stage now. So firstly, let me welcome Ms. Sania Haida, Special Interest Group Representative for the Commonwealth Youth Council. A big round of applause for her. And signing. And of course, she will represent the interests of different groups, marginalized groups, groups with disabilities or specially abled groups as well, and so much more on the council. So we look forward to that. I would like to welcome next Shamim Nabuma, the African Regional Representative on the Commonwealth Youth Council. A big round of applause for her. And of course, she'll be responsible for representing the interests of the African bloc in the Commonwealth Youth Council. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Ms. Famida Faiza, the Asian Regional Representative on the Commonwealth Youth Council. And she'll be representing the interests of the Asian countries in the Commonwealth. Immediately following her, I'd like to welcome to the stage Ms. Dominique Norales, the Caribbean Regional Representative on the Commonwealth Youth Council. So the regional representatives, they represent all the interests of their specific region, and then they come together and discuss ideas and plans so that they can go forward with a common vision and common unity. Welcoming next, Sagufta Janif, the Pacific Regional Representative on the Commonwealth Youth Council. And immediately following her, we have a new position that was recently added to the Commonwealth Youth Council as well. We'd like to welcome Mr. Namir Chowdhury, the Europe and Canada Regional Representative. We recognize the election of Najee Noons as well, who's the Vice Chair Policy and Advocacy. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it here today or to Kigali. Following him, come to the stage, the newly elected Vice Chair for Inclusion and Engagement, actually taking over from me, Ms. Christabel Derby. And the Vice Chair, Inclusion and Engagement, is responsible for membership on the Council and for growing the membership of the Council and maintaining strong relations. Following her, we'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Everton Rattray, Vice Chair, Partnership and Resources on the Commonwealth Youth Council. And Partnership and Resources, as the name suggests, is responsible for maintaining strong partnerships and resource mobilization across the Commonwealth for the Commonwealth Youth Council. And finally, we'd like to welcome to the stage the chairperson of the Commonwealth Youth Council, Mr. Kim Allen. And while he signs, I'd like to welcome the entire executive back on stage to take a photo with the ministers. Yes. The newly elected Commonwealth Youth Council. A big round of applause for them, please. Representing the voice of 1.4 billion youth across the Commonwealth. We'd like to also invite the other ministers across the Commonwealth to join us once again for this photo. As many of you may know, the Commonwealth Youth Council will be celebrating 10 years next year. 10 years. So that is a big accomplishment. We want plenty smiling faces in this photo. Thank you all so much, Honorable Ministers. Thank you to the Honorable Minister from Rwanda and the Honorable Minister from Uganda for witnessing. And now I hand it over to the Commonwealth Youth Council to deliver their oath. Immediately following, I'll welcome the newly elected chairperson of the Commonwealth Youth Council Executive Committee to give his remarks.
Thank you, Darren, for keeping the room live and active as young people. Do we have young people in the room? Thank you. Honorable Rosemary Kavazi, Minister for Youth and Culture. Honorable Ministers present, government representatives, my fellow colleague, Ms. Aladi, the GA President, various youth networks, stakeholders, development partners, excellencies, and fellow youth delegates. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Youth Commonwealth Youth Executive members, I thank you for the privilege vested upon us to take on this huge responsibility to lead the Commonwealth Youth Council representing 1.4 billion people across 54 countries. The Commonwealth Youth Council, or CYC, like any other network or organization, had its challenges during COVID-19 and has now emerged to a new beginning, a new phase to change, to strengthen our mechanisms, structures, and the organization's vision and mission to drive the youth development agenda across the Commonwealth. This is taking charge of our future, the theme for this week's forum. This couldn't happen without your support, the national youth delegates and partners involved in this room and abroad. I extend our deep appreciation to governments and relevant youth stakeholders, departments across the Commonwealth for your confidence in allowing the space, the support, and interest in young people to take responsibility and leadership in this youth forum. I also acknowledge the outgoing executives for your outstanding effort and determination in leading the CYC over the last 2 years. We appreciate it. The past 3 days shows the excellent effort and dedication invested by everyone involved in this event. And I have been in most of the discussion rooms and have been observing the level of discussions, the passion, dreams, hopes, and innovative ideas for a better future we want. We have had in these presentations this morning. And this gives me hope that every young person has a potential. And how do we identify this potential and harness the individual young person's potential for a more significant outcome, a life of fulfillment? The issues discussed this week on systems of governance and youth participation in decision making, inequalities in human capital development and trade, high unemployment rates, the digital divide in every region, lack of knowledge in information and communication, technology for marginalized groups, and the impacts of climate change and experienced by the world, loss of biodiversity, to human actions and health issues, which include COVID-19, have an impact on everyone, one way or the other. Addressing these issues takes time. Remember, they are never permanent problems. This gives us the courage and boldness to act on solutions. However, we need to take a creative and innovative approach to address these issues and start now. The myriad of issues affecting us now is never the same decades ago. So we need to be creative and innovative. Some of you are already doing in your communities and countries excellent job taking charge of your future. With the brilliant ideas and great action plans presented, how do we progress from now? First, reflections and assessment. In the last 3 days of discussions and deliberations, I understand there is so much to consume. Let us reflect on our past efforts and mistakes, assess current situations, identify our strengths, and refine our vision and objectives to move forward. Be adaptable. Build and equip yourself as young people and also help others and elevate them. Focus on people always. Take time for reflections, but don't wait too long to act. Plan and make that small step to progress what we all have discussed this week. Together we can, and I believe that. Let us focus on driving our energy, resources, and efforts to the right and positive outcomes. Next is partnership. Keep the networks and alliances you have built in this forum and let us work together for a shared future. Support one another where you can and when needed as we are in this together, taking charge of our future collectively. Let us always be genuine and honest in our working relationships. Make bold and courageous actions. Government partnerships and support for young people are crucial to allow them to realize their full potential, which benefits not only their families but drives national development. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor and privilege with my fellow colleagues in the executives to serve the interests of the young people and the communities at large. It is a shared responsibility that we all can work together and shared future. I hope you are motivated, encouraged, energized, refreshed with new ideas and solutions, and build new partners to go out there and work to create a positive and sustainable lifestyle, such as having peaceful communities, good governance, access to quality health and education, capital and resource and skill set development, a clean environment and biodiversity. Taking charge of your future is our current generation, both young and old. It's hope. But what's more is that it's the unborn generations present. So we are responsible one way or the other. And may God guide us in as we reflect to know what is essential in life and build those partnerships to address these problems through our God given talent, potential, and skills in us. On behalf of all you delegates, I would like to thank the government of Rwanda for hosting the young people, the people of Rwanda for your kind hospitality and friendship. We will depart Rwanda and the African region with heartfelt experiences and memories. Murakoze Chiane. The Commonwealth Secretariat for your tremendous support all throughout this, of course, the task force as well, and to relevant government, youth departments, and ministries across Commonwealth member states and stakeholders. I thank you for believing in young people to shape the future we want by taking charge. It will take time, of course, and we are committed to being responsible, but we need your sound wisdom, shared experiences, and genuine guidance to work together. I am hesitant to share this personal story, but allow me to share this. In the Pacific, where I was growing up, I had lack. I come from an island community where we had isolated communities and we travel on sailing canoe. If you ever have, give me an indication if you know what sailing canoe is. A yacht. Yacht? Yes. So in a yacht, there is a structure. When I was a kid, I used to travel on a sailing canoe, and I realized that in it there is strings and sails attached and a trigger. What's amazing about a yacht is that the strings are pulled together with a sail, and the wind carries that. And there is a compass in it as a ship. So with these discussions all throughout, I want us to reflect as young people and leaders and stakeholders to see this as a reflection, as a guidance guide to what we discuss here to take us and move forward to driving the youth agenda. Fellow youth delegates, may God bless you, and I wish you all safe travels back to your respective communities and countries. And to our government leaders, I pray that may God guide you through your decision making in the next couple of days in Chogam. With this, we shall proceed. Together we read our oath. We, recognizing the important responsibility we are taking in serving as a member of the Commonwealth Youth Council, hereby pledge to carry out in a trustworthy and diligent manner in all duties and obligations inherent in our role as the executive of the CYC. We acknowledge that our primary role is to represent the voice of young people in the Commonwealth at the international meetings, represent the voice of youth at duly established Commonwealth committees, and present youths to the youth representative and the secretariat. To carry out the functions of office as outlined in the agreed terms of reference in alignment with the CYC Constitution. Our role will be strengthened youth development and advocacy in the Commonwealth. We will exercise the duties and responsibilities in this office with integrity, collegiality, and due care. Thank you so much.